Good day and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Togetherwerole.
Yay!
Yay!
You got it right for a change.
All right, now push record.
Anyway, we got a lot to get to, and it's late night, so let's get to it. We got Corinne Mill to say thank you very much for all the lovely art you gave us, RPG Elements for the lovely miniatures that you saw last battle, and JD Arts. He's also a lovely individual that has given us Quinn and Vedic.
Yeah, we've got the battle here. So let's shall we get to the intro and
yes,
continue?
Let's go. Let's go, man.
Right.
See you in a moment.
But notice the world is not the same as when we all got started, and we know who's to blame. No turning back now to try to be insane, for what's beyond the veil too vivid to explain. Faceless behemoths haunt my dreams, seeking to steal my sanity. I will not stand down, won't back away, as long as you're with me. Together we roll, together we roll. I'll fight for you, will you fight for me? Together we roll, I'll protect you, just as long as you stand with me. Together we roll.
You're in the Shadowfell trying to buy time that you sorely need. To gather power, materials, knowledge, and, clean up a couple of things that you might want to do. On your way to the back door, so to speak, of this celebratory event in the Shadowfell, to get to the Halls of Memories, a library that holds the Raven's palaces, or at least one of them, stores of memories of current, past, and passing. You found yourself being drawn to a location, a blender, if you will, of a trapped orc king. Drawn here by the Raven herself, that was awoken by the chanting of his name. Speaking it, I should say, in Orcish. He awoke. He was not a nice man, and he tried to kill you. Tried.
Very close.
Someone tries to kill you. You kill them right back.
And hopefully twice as fast.
Yes.
Upon his death, everything went black. Darkness and silence, with the smell of moisture and iron.
I smell moisture.
The cries of ravens flapping endlessly around you before going quiet once again as they dispersed. One of them landing on the blade and taking it unless you wish to interpose. It flies off with the blade. And the raven's mask.
And a group of us are all bowing at the
Yes.
front, to be clear.
Bowing before the
would
visage
I
of the
would have
Raven
been, but no.
Queen. We have 2 bowing, 3 bowing.
I immediately saw Nicholas do that and I just followed suit. She's kept me alive this far.
I bowed, or not bowed. He looked at us, bowed.
On my knees. Just me. Shield down in front.
I'm trying to
To the shadow, to my shadow.
Shadow's not there.
Shadow's not there.
It's just black floor.
I'm trying to thread my intestine back through the hole in my stomach wall.
So I see in the moments of these silence, there's like, oh!
it's just that squelching noise of me pushing the innards back in.
Take 12 hit points back.
Just win.
Down.
Yep.
In the midst of you re-bowing yourself, as one does, you hear a little bit and you hear almost like a blur of flapping as you spin around to find a 5'9" female, fair skin complexion, draped in black robes and silver threads that seem to connect to the mask, go through the black hair and downwards of this porcelain mask.
Do I recognize who this is? I mean, I know we're in the domain of there's been ravens everywhere. Do you want a religion check?
Sure, make a religion check.
Are there enough context?
8!
8? Oh yeah, this is just a
Hey! I didn't know it was a masquerade!
those that actually live here. This is the Raven Queen.
Yeah, that's my boss. I know.
Yeah. Kind of tilts her
Nor
head.
do I.
Neither do I, but
Well, I'm
she's
not
bowing.
saying shit because I'm not speaking in her presence. I am like, if y'all die, I'm sorry, but I'm not risking my life trying to save you. Propriety.
Twisting-
I just don't know who this person is.
Sure.
There's some chicken mask. We've seen so many people in masks. The last time we saw a bunch of people in masks, we had to do the Macarena to get ourselves out of the room. So
Right.
I put my left foot in, I put my left foot out,
And then
put my left foot in and shake it all about.
You should
Put this
start getting your
explanation
left-
to the people around you.
Put your
You should put your left kidney
left
back
ball
in.
Yeah, put the kidney in, take the kidney in, put the kidney in, and you squirm it all about. You do a couple sutures and you turn yourself around. Now let's do the
There's a portal open behind you,
Okay.
or more to the side, directly so that you can walk past everyone and through if needed. You see greenery, hear birds chirping, foliage of green with flowers,
Wow, that's pretty.
and a voice that is first omnipresent, then speaks. Fair, womanish, feminish, that has the feeling of absolute direction towards you at this singular moment. For the only one that is bound to fate amongst a group of forever chaos. You're the only one that has been forced by the ripples of fate trying to mend what they forming around to you, seemingly heading over towards Vedek a little longer.
Some of us surfed those ripples.
Fate attempting to correct course. You do not deserve this. You may leave if you wish.
That's rather kind of you. Thank you very much. I was like,
Several ravens land on the side of your bags, and gravity seems to get very heavy for you, and you go all the way down on your knees.
I thought only he could hear it.
No, everyone can hear this.
Oh, but it's just
It was
focused at
omnidirectional,
him.
but has the feeling of...
She's talking to me, but you can all hear it.
Right.
I am not moving.
I look through that like portal with genuinely longing to return to simpler times, patrolling the wilds and doing what I would consider a direct, like, good work. And like I look at it and there's a sense of longing, and I snap my hand out and catch the pixie by the wings. Pull her back.
I'm gonna, like, real tiny, like, subtle spell, minor illusion, whisper in your ear, leave the coffee if you go.
leave the coffee.
And I pet
The raven's head twitches a tiny bit.
and I pet the pixie, and I turn and I look at her and I say, while my fate may not be as keenly twined to this endeavor, it is an evil too great to leave to chance.
Hi.
Maybe general...
Hang on, I need to take notes.
Please tell me that was said in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, hang on, this is important.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay, is he staying or is he going?
With advantage.
Probably do that.
Should I stay or should I go?
If I stay, there will be trouble.
If I go,
There will be double. Yep.
35.
Stay or should I go?
A long moment passes as the raven, the queen herself, the one that transcended mortality,
There you go.
the portal, and the silence takes in once more.
I should have picked a few berries.
Maybe it's just a vacation. Staycation. Maybe.
Walking
Next time.
past you, not a word. Stopping as it's about to pass, a golden kobold, maybe half her stature.
Not looking head down.
You're looking good.
I'm just shoving fistfuls of berries. Oh,
My head hit the floor. Like, I've been bowed like this, and I just like, whoa. And
The years have been very kind to you. I'm
Make a perception check.
interested.
Make a perception check.
My
is the
God.
kobold gonna bang a god?
She doesn't kill me. Look.
This is not how Batman dies.
No, Batman does.
She did kill me once or twice. A few in the not this time. Not this time. No.
Is this the version where she smokes back?
24.
24. You hear a dagger unsheathing, and you look over towards
Maybe it is
Aranat,
the one.
the Shadakai, and you notice that there is a current holy symbol dangling from his neck, from his holy symbol. Dead-eyeing you. It's like, and almost looking towards, not quite, but in the direction of the Raven Guard, like, can you
Just give me the word. Just give me the word. Just give me the word.
I'm trying to offer a compliment. You have no sense of propriety.
I'm like, he's an embarrassment. Like, you can feel the heat of the embarrassment coming off of me. But like, as soon as Aranat unsheaths, I like just go and corner him and shove into his brain, like screaming the rules of hospitality that he is violating, threatening a person who is under my care.
make a
Intimidate.
make a enforced charisma check, because right now because you have the anger as well with the radiation and stuff. He has the same thing, but echoed with various dead voices in his skull of his god being talked in such a way by a
check with proficiency.
certain. So go ahead and make a
What? This isn't the first time I've met her.
Okay, but am I just rolling straight charisma? What
straight
am I?
charisma.
Okay.
Was she a
Because
god
you're
then?
forcing your way into a skull that is
Does she
already
get to add
throbbing
proficiency?
with your
Demigod?
emotions right now.
Does
Is
get
she
to
a
add
god
proficiency?
now? It's weird.
Does she get to add proficiency?
Just
The
straight
rules
charisma.
blur. It's
How does one define a god?
That is an 18.
18, you get past his 5. He rolled bad. He's currently, you can tell that he's currently handling a couple emotions that he's feeling new. Rapture, divinity, and you can tell right away, he's only a 1 level cleric. Because, you know, he lives in the,
Sure.
Raven palace, and he's Shadakai, it's going to be natural, It's either a paladin or... and so he's handling a lot of emotions, and then suddenly he gets the first word. The fuck? So they were more of a reactionary thing, and as soon as you start railing him like a proper boss would,
Yeah.
he immediately shunts it and goes even lower on one knee.
Uh-huh. Or it doesn't stop. Like,
Oh no, I know it's not going to stop, but that's just the beginning,
like there's kind of like a shadow energy. My hair's floating a little bit. I'm still trying to like bow to the queen while screaming at him psychically. And
With
you can still feel the irritation going out your way. And
That's nothing new.
and almost as if a blink, as forcibly as you're looking at her, you're like, and your eyes are just forced to blink, and she's out of your vision and it's directly in front of you.
like I'm bowing and it, like out loud, I'll deal with you later. And then I pull out of his head and I'm bowing to her.
Taking a moment, almost gliding her hands, touching a thread that was connected since ever you joined here, and rolling it as though there's parchment made of skin in your hands. Hands it back towards you.
I take it, I bow over her hand, and I
It's the contract.
Which contract?
The contract that you formed with the
Devil contract.
Yeah, the devil.
Cool. Yeah.
Not looking, not looking.
Looking
not
across, not directly at you, but over you, in the back towards the rest.
Everybody
With the
looks
various
over
ravens,
him.
about 16 ravens currently sitting on your back. You're just like,
It's so heavy.
Don't know, not looking. You did this
with that
yourself.
same
I'm not complaining.
omnipresent voice emitting from the center of her core, that is now directed and weighted with complex emotions and meanings behind the words, enriching them with various flavors, so to speak. The complicated relationship of what you are capable of is staggering. To have so many untethered mortals to make their own fate is unprecedented. I hope that you understand now that every decision you make comes with great weight to them.
You're telling me?
Shh. You're not supposed to talk. Jesus.
Big hand.
Winner. I can't move.
Couple of ravens fly off your back.
The simple is, I still don't. I'm watching them bow. I still don't know who this chick is. She gave me the option to go home, but I was like, I'm in for penny and for pound.
Oh, I'm taking furious notes. Like,
I'm not sitting there watching.
he's
Fascinated.
flipping back through pages, just crossing whole sections out.
Is she done speaking?
She paused for a few moments,
Okay.
allowing you to speak or say anything, along with penny for pound person over there.
Speaking of decisions of great weight, and I gesture at the vestige where I am bound to yet another fucking entity of holy shit power.
You should really stop selling your soul.
I only sold my soul once.
Once. That has been sold by multiples.
There's other
and
things
then you
that
took,
were
and
sold.
then you took out a soul equity line of credit. And then
Second mortgages thing.
Continue, please.
So this entity
She's like 16 souls a bit.
is confused and inquisitive and seems to find answers through killing things. Through my killing things.
Her vision turned towards you, looking towards the vestige, the part of a body of a greater whole. This is the gift of the very root of all creation. You do not understand what you deal with. Would you like to understand?
Yes, that was my question.
First, to the rest of you, what is your purpose in my domain?
What was the question again?
What is the purpose of my domain, she asked.
We're headed to
To the
My
rest of
old-
you. I'm not allowed to help.
To my old home.
We are headed to the Hall of Crystal Memory to vanquish a powerful entity, or rather to destroy the heart of a powerful entity that resides there.
I'm just a servant.
I thought you were the jester.
That too.
I'm the muscle.
I'm the backpack.
I'm the
She waves her hand at the various
Like,
buttons on
what's
your
the
back.
spleen?
Just for one of them with one of your packs.
Oh man, it had my best pan in it.
You are one of the most innocent here, but you're not without fault.
Yeah, true.
To kill a greater entity, a one that is not mortal kin, is not as simple as driving a dagger into one's heart. A ritual must be performed. A ritual that will bind the flesh to allow it to die. I can sense that you've already have the 3 pieces needed on you now. The memories shall serve in a After this is done, am I correct to assume that you will return to the material plane and correct a unintended flaw?
That's really what we're trying to do.
Which flaw?
She waves her hand and you see a portal open up once again. This time not of plants, but of fire burning and brimstone. See across what used to be a rolling hilltop of grass plains, farmland and housing of civilizations now burns, ruined, and destroyed. Various buzzards and flying entities in the air of fiendish individuals, along with the center of a moving horde upon thousands of thousands of thousands. At the center, a massive, gargantuan creature.
That one.
To the Tarrasque.
Cut at the center of its chest with fiendish, runish magic.
Well,
The portal closes as one
Demonic.
of the entities.
Illithid undead demon Tarrasque?
A barbed devil passing by that looks like,
Devil.
and it immediately starts charging.
Wrong window. Wrong window. Okay.
By the time she closed it, 3 arrows were already through it.
Not quite.
Wrong window, dude. You don't want this one. No.
By the very folds of creation that you speak to, I am no longer permitted to enter this domain. It is up to you. It is up to you to fix what has happened. A calamity was destined to happen in one shape or another. And merely dominoes fall where they lay. It will not stop until an opposing force brings it to a stop. You have 2 options to handle this devil-infused Tarrasque.
Devil fused demon Tarrasque.
The pilot.
Illithid piled corrupted demon
You can
Tarrasque.
either
Devil Tarrasque.
bind it to flesh to kill a higher entity, a demigod,
I'm flesh.
seeking accession. That's me messing up.
Ascension.
Thank you.
Ascension?
Accession, yes.
Ascension.
That's me messing up on her.
Ascension.
Yeah, I correct the Raven Queen on her grammar.
It's not grammar, it's pronunciation.
Pronunciation, that's just me.
Maybe she read it in a book.
Possibly. She has
It's
a
the
book
wind.
This, or you can force it to ascend, allowing the very 3 that forced all divinity away from the material plane to force us to build again.
Pros and cons?
The cons is that there will be a new god, a new religion, a new enemy.
So it's like pushing it under the rug. We create a bigger
The
problem to deal with later.
easier this ritual of seeding is theoretically easier to persuade it. It will leave the material plane, but in so
Persuasion.
it will act as a new church to this entity.
And
Or there's is the incantation of flesh.
Which is more difficult.
Out of character. So our choices are
So she's giving you 2 options in order to take out a
Force it to
Tarrasque.
ascend or force it to flesh.
bind the demigod back to the flesh.
Back to the flesh so that you're able to kill the
Of the
flesh.
Tarrasque, or just 2 flesh so we kill that, which then weakens the Tarrasque so we can kill it.
Both.
Okay. Or
Because right now they're acting as one entity.
or force it to ascend so it then basically can't exist on the material plane because it's a god.
Correct, because of the basically the end result is that there are 3 prime deities that quite literally many thousands of years ago gave a eviction notice because they could not stop fighting.
Okay, so if you're a god, you don't get to go on the material plane.
Pretty much. Make a history or religion check before I
I'm
say
gonna
it.
say history because my religion's garbage.
You too.
I rolled 5.
Ooh.
So that's a 15.
15?
20.
20? With combination of both of you. Yeah, so you get that right away what I said. That's pretty much the end result for you. For him, this was roughly about 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. Not that long ago. It literally reset the planet.
Not that long ago.
80?
Yeah.
No, I'm.
Yeah, it was before your time. But the problem is, and you remember these cataclysmic, well, not remember them, but you remember the recordings of these cataclysmic event of just what happened. Because the gods were given this eviction. They did not have a choice, and all of them were pulled. Higher, lower, doesn't matter. Anything of divinity, good or bad, was ripped from the planet. But the problem is, as soon as they were ripped, everything that they were holding bay, their power, like, the sun god, or the moon god, or the water god, whatever they were, their domains, as soon as they were ripped from the material plane, whatever they were holding in check was no longer in check. So like a floodgate, whatever they were holding erupted.
Alright.
So if you did that, it would be a new church, and it would be a major eruption on a volcanic proportions.
Well, so we cause destruction one way or another.
I'm not all. I personally don't think it's a good idea that we
How bad do we want to
create a
kick?
new god.
I think it's just kicking the ball further down the road. If we force it to ascend and we kill the Tarask, then we still have to deal with that god.
Or someone down the
It's a
line.
lot.
does.
I'm not trying to try and kill a god. Let's not create a god in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, we're still trying to kill
The other
god.
option is, so we create this new religion, I take a level of cleric, start proselytizing, become a high-ranking clergy, corrupt their religion from the inside out, let it destroy itself.
That's very long-winded, and it sounds much easier to actually kill it.
Admittedly, that is a simpler solution than most of the other shit on the whiteboard. So
Yeah, add it to the menu.
I'm standing there
It'll take
scratching my
the
bald
demon
head,
Tarask.
yeah.
Right.
No, I think option A is the more,
Is bind it to flesh.
well, it's the more, for us, everything that we do, everything that we know is identify threat, end threat.
Terminate.
Not necessarily through killing it, but just make it no longer a threat. And the idea of pushing this thing along is it's kicking the can down the road, but it's trading an immediate threat for a potential much greater one.
Yeah.
And
Later down the road.
it's not our style.
Yes, it'll be more difficult up front, but it's going to be less difficult in the long run. If we just kill it.
Where
It
does
is
the
up
Lord
to
of Bitter
you.
Frost come into this?
That's what we're talking about going.
Revision.
Oh, I'm gonna keep his mouth shut.
That's what we're thinking about
I'll
going.
ask the question because I'm honestly.
Oh, you didn't ask that question?
No, I'm actually asking the question.
Okay.
So while we are guests in your domain, does it strain? And again, I'm trying to be. I'm now up to reputation 13. We're in double digits now, bitch. Does it tax
Slightly above trash.
hospitality too much to destroy this creature while visiting your domain?
One more time?
Because Hall of Crystal Memory is her former home, right?
Yes.
The whole.
The whole Raven Palace is her.
The
She, you asked this.
fortress of memories.
This
her home.
is my old home, my old seat of power.
Yeah.
I've already moved on, along with the rest of the deities, to the new material plane.
The new
Okay.
material plane.
Yes.
So
It is
So-
It was one
apparently-
of, like, all of the deities were forced to leave. The Raven Queen was one.
So by taking this guy out in her old home, we're not pissing her off.
You would
as
also
much.
have to force it onto a different plane of existence.
Well, that's easy. You just banish it.
If that works.
Oh yeah, so simple.
Yeah.
Banish an archfey. Super easy.
Yeah, totally.
Just chain some
Is
cold
it?
iron to it and fuck up all it saves.
I mean, I got one.
I'm not touching it.
No,
I will.
I have something to do with that.
What's that?
Hold up the cold iron bullet.
I'm good.
I'm not threatened by like.
That
Can you
is
put that
wrong.
away with my goddess here, please?
It's on my bandolier. It's not for them. It's
Well, I've got
You were
cold
just
iron
holding it
arrows
like
and
this.
everything,
Put it
so-
away.
By the way, like at some point, I've like quietly filled a tankard and been sipping it to get my 44 plus 4 for the tankard of the drunkard.
Understood.
Just like
Yes,
I love this.
you
Is
know-
an engaging conversation about world and calamities. I'm still bleeding. So
Understood. And she notices that you're doing that, and currently no magic works at this time. But she waves her hand, and your wound heals up to half.
wound.
Wounds.
Here, there's wounds. Plural.
So you are currently at half HP.
Okay.
That's better than nothing.
It is up to you to decide which avenue you deem necessary.
Alright,
It is no longer.
Tanya question, not Nicholas question. Nicholas has been tracking everything. Tanya's getting sleepy. Who are we binding? Is this the
Well, she
binding
was
the
talking about
Archfey?
she was originally talking
I'm
about.
starting to sugar crash.
Yeah, she was originally
But it
talking
doesn't
about
help.
it is not simple to kill a non-mortal,
Right.
and you're currently hunting a non-mortal.
Yep.
She brought in the idea that there are these rituals that are needed to do certain things. To kill a non-mortal, there's something called the incantation of flesh, which is to bind them to whatever flesh they are in so that you can kill it along with the flesh.
Right.
To bind it into the trash.
And she said that you have the three
No,
needed
we want to
parts
pull it out of it.
to
kill
kill
it separate.
the thing you're hunting.
So it doesn't longer
Right.
imbued with.
Why did she bring up the Tarrasque? Are we supposed to do it to
Because
that
it's
too?
one of it's why there's a huge. She brought up the Trask because it's an influx of dead people that she's like, all right, what happened?
All right. So that was just like and you're gonna clean up your shit when you're done.
Pretty
That
much,
was
yeah.
okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I go
Not
find us a
related.
rabbit. We bind it to the rabbit, and then do the fight scene from Monty Python.
And all
There you
done.
go.
Like legitimately, if we can extract devil entity from it and shove it in something else, like that would not be a sucky notion.
Like a plant.
But let's not put it in a plant. That didn't go so
It didn't
great.
work out so
So
well
wait.
last time, actually.
Who are we trying to kill?
Right now,
Lord
Lord of
Bitterfrost.
Bitterfrost.
Thank you.
And that is exactly what I just went through.
A little bit.
Like
Lord of Bitter Frost has nothing to do with the Trask.
Yes.
Lord
Yes,
of
he
Bitterfrost
does.
does have things to do with Tarrasque, but not about killing the Tarrasque specifically. Like
we
we
can
kill
then-
him, then we go after the
Okay.
Tarrasque.
Because it weakens the
Wait.
power
Hang
of
on.
the Trask.
Can we?
Because y'all made the decision that we needed to do it.
If we're dividing things up, can we kill Lord of Bitterfrost and then kill the demon that's controlling the Tarrasque
Maybe.
to help reduce the effect of the current Tarrasque
I
issue?
cast protection from evil and good on the Tarrasque, which blocks out mental domination.
That'll work fantastically when we get there.
In the midst of this entire conversation between the group, you notice that the Raven Queen has disappeared, and upon you looking to see where she has gone again, she reappears with almost as if 100 ravens collide that come from the abyss, even though they didn't fly like that far, they were just... And she's there once again, now in front of Vedic.
I have rapt attention at this point. Like I'm covering mouths to listen to her talking.
Because we're all...
So Vedic is like just sort of where before he was taking furious
now
notes.
doodling.
Now he's just kind of doodling and just not making eye contact.
He's doing the S's. Everybody remembers the S's, right?
Regretfully,
333.
a proper mental host must bear witness to these rituals.
Divine proper.
You can't talk. I've got your mouth. Yeah, that's
Prepare
what's
yourself, Fate Surfer. And she immediately grabs your head, lifts you up 10 feet in the air.
She's suddenly 10 feet tall and holding you like a softball.
Yes.
Dr. Manhattan
And
style.
immediately your hands go tense, your body goes rigid, and your eyes roll back into your skull as fog of black pours out from various orifices across your body. Not the lower region ones.
Oh no, something else is flowing out of it.
Yes, every pore is orifice. Every
You
single
are
pore.
force-fed forbidden knowledge,
Again.
again, of 2 rituals. The incantation of flesh and the ritual of seeding.
So we know both paths.
Question: does Vedic actually know any bidden knowledge, or is it all of the forbidden variety?
Yeah, forbidden is only the ones in power saying it's forbidden. It's kind of like, anyway.
So the ritual of
It ain't illegal to cops don't know.
And she just unceremoniously, after 2 minutes of holding you there, shaken in place, drops you. Unceremoniously.
Oh.
And
I
almost-
knew in advance that was gonna suck. I knew that was gonna suck, and it still sucked. Oh.
Was it good for you?
I need a head. I have a headache.
The
You
Lord
need
of
head.
Bitter- The Lord of Bitter Frost comes into the play of a man trying the impossible.
What did I do?
The conjuration of pits. He attempts, during this coming shift of Fae, from Seelie to Unseelie, during the time of the great flow of energy of everything, great works can be completed, and he attempts to shift the natural flow of life to death to the other way around.
Isn't that just undeath?
No, it's resurrection.
Resurrection.
We're gonna put this guy back together.
Oh. That makes sense.
He mourns
think.
the loss of his love and is believing that she is waiting on the other side. Just merely needs to flip the switch.
So he's trying to bring her back.
But in turn, everything will come back.
Everything.
Everything waiting.
Oh shit, man! That means I'm gonna have to pay all those gambling debts.
Wait. Oh, it's already at 0.
We haven't even lasted 12 hours before starting another fucking
It
threat.
was at 2 actually, but
Oh, not 0 again.
but it stayed at 0 because those 2 days we've been in the Shadowfell, we were gonna return back to the day we came to
Yeah,
the
like
Shadowfell.
if you're in a time
Yeah.
We're in a time bubble.
bubble,
Yeah.
then
Wibbly wobbly.
Timey-wimey.
I will not say it will be easy, and I will not say that you will succeed. But as ones that are not tied to fate as strongly as you should be, you do have a chance more than most. You have my blessing to enter my library. For now. Yeah, for now. You go running into the darkness.
She's like stepping on my tail. Just going.
I'm Scrooge McDucking into a pile of books. Like, how is he swimming through books?
And as for that knowledge you wish for, she peers back in front of you, Nicholas,
They're frictionless
taking
books.
off her porcelain mask.
I told you she was good looking.
Taking a gentle
I am having a religious experience. Shut up!
and Nicholas like about to touch her head.
She's got
Before you turn around and say that, she takes
like
your cheek and lifts you up, plants a gentle kiss upon your forehead. As the mask goes back on, seeing the
Religious or
face of the Raven Queen. Only you and Aranat that's kind of sitting next to you, kind of like,
No,
look
no,
at
no.
what
I would fucking cover his face. He has not been blessed with this. He's a shitty asshole. No.
5 rounds of combat, he hit twice. Fuck that guy.
He hit twice and didn't get hit at all. He didn't do shit.
Rogues, man.
I don't care about that. Like, he has been dismissive about the laws of hospitality. He has been dismissive about the laws of ownership. He has been rude to my guests time and again. And then he thinks he gets to be bestowed with the blessing of my goddess?
She's still here.
With a slight chuckling goddess of the raven, she
I'll kill him.
recedes back.
I
Farewell.
didn't have enough points to kill him.
And may the raven's wings guide your path.
I don't have much else.
Your vision, as her almost cloth completely overtakes your sight.
Still hanging upside down.
Oh no,
Okay.
you're back normal.
You acrobatically looked it down.
Yeah, but that was after we were in the darkness. I was like, oh crap, that was all in our heads, and I'm still hanging here with my spleen
No.
hanging out.
Your vision slowly comes back, gradually. The sound of music, some good, a lot of it jarring and distasteful. The sound of boisterous laughter, tapping of feet, and clashing of breaking materials on the floor. Glass, porcelain, whatever. As you now find yourself in a grand hallway, two directions, one back to a celebration towards your back, and the other to grand double doors to the front, along with the various orc bodies that were in the same room with you,
Wait,
now littering the hallway before you.
did we just skip the ballroom?
There were 3 treasure chests in that room. We don't get to...
It looks like anything of worth was transported with you.
Oh.
Where's that sword?
Do I?
Gone entirely.
Okay.
Is the blessing of the Raven Queen something that is visible or knowable or whatever to people who we pass?
You get the sense that something mentally changed in you. In the midst of you having that,
Religiongasm.
Right.
visiongasm,
Yeah, it's...
you felt your mental presence expand and contort in ways that you should not be able to do. With the understanding that when you next meet this prime deity, the main 3 that make this, never mind, that is creation, you will be able to understand.
Okay. That's terrifying. That doesn't answer my question though.
Oh.
She wants to know if she gets a souvenir. Did she get a cool tattoo out of it?
It's
Well-
less that like
Does her
we're in a
reputation
realm
go
of
up?
people who are like who
There
worship her
is a
and
dark line of lipstick on your forehead right now, with... At the moment, you're not quite sure. You can roll a religion check if you want.
Do we get rank increase by
I mean
proxy?
I can roll it, but it's not gonna do anything. Like
This has never happened to her
I mean,
before.
you're not exactly a cleric.
a
so
16.
16? There might be something.
Okay.
You've been given free range in the library that is very important to her domain, even if it's her own old home.
Right.
Do we get
Um,
rank increase by proxy?
It's close to taking
Do we get
the
ranking
knowledge
increase by
domain
proxy?
Cleric.
Yes, you definitely do get ranking increased.
Okay. So the question is, we're going to be walking through this domain and there's going to be like people looking at us and whatever, and some of them are incredibly antagonistic and some of them aren't, and this is going to have a different impact on different people. Do I hide the mark while we walk through the domain or not?
It'll probably be
I wouldn't.
a good...
You
Fuck
wouldn't
off.
no matter what.
There's a
You'd be
clear heel
like, hey,
print.
look, a goddess kissed me, and everyone would literally start stabbing at you and be like, isn't it groovy? Like,
There's
you
a
have
clear-
no self-preservation instinct.
There's a clear heel print in your tail right now.
Sure. I got one too.
There's 2 ways we can go about it. 1, we can be conspicuous. 2, we can be inconspicuous. Which would be better for us.
What if she's got a thing for gold?
I don't know that I do.
With that question of has it given you a blessing, probably she did get to say leave with your blessing, but in terms of like raw stats of like what you got, you don't know.
No. It's more a sense of like, do I think this is going to put a bigger target on our backs as we're wandering through with the most conspicuous crew to have ever
I'm still big, by
been
the
in
way.
the fell?
And I got 3 of them. Look,
You don't think so?
there's bird crap, 3 plot pieces.
But I will say, Aeronat,
Prestidigitate.
with a
I
bit
am
of
14
a
feet tall.
side, but
I
also
can't do anything about
once in a very long time, Aeronat, with a bit of a smile, just being in the presence of the Raven is that's something that he would never think would happen, especially with his standing.
How big is the hallway?
And just looks towards you. You'll smell like her.
I'm gonna push back into his brain and resume reaming him.
He's kind of falling back on heels, rolling
At
back
this point, it's
into
on
his skull.
How big is the hallway?
As you continue to berate him.
And like this is you dare try to look at the goddess. You have been condescending to people who literally have been bestowed with her blessing. They were brought into her presence and you were not, and you think you're better than them, you little fuckwit. Like I'm just
But they smelled like devils.
I wonder whose fault that was.
It's a natural musk.
He should be a foot shorter by the time I'm
Yeah,
done.
your leather suit really seals in the flavor.
And with that, we will end tonight's
How
episode.
big are the hallways? That's still 14 feet tall.
No, you are. Yeah, actually, no, you're 14 feet
I'm a
tall.
large creature. I double my height.
Ceiling.
Are you 14 feet
I
tall?
forgot about that. Yeah, you're still 14
For another
feet
3 hours.
Oh, it is a mega structure. So we'll get to the actual details about
Okay.
that later. Anyway, thank you everyone. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Thank you for having me today. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep on rolling, everyone.
Bye-bye.
I cannot help but notice the world is not the same as when we all got started, and we know who's to blame. No turning back now to try to be insane. For what's beyond the veil, too vivid to explain. Faceless behemoths haunt my dreams, seeking to steal my sanity. I will not stand down, won't back away, as long as you're with me. Together we roll, together we roll. I'll fight for you, will you fight for me? Together we roll, together we roll. I'll protect you, just as long as you stand with me. Together we roll. The gods look down on us, we're just a game to them. Eldritch monstrosities at their unholy whim. But we will stand up, we'll shout a battle cry. The future beckons us and we'll stand unified.